Hello, boys and girls. Ultimate here. Welcome to Let's Discuss. It's been a while since I've actually had one of these, and I haven't uploaded a lot of videos. So you know what this will do? This will be filler. Okay. Getting straight into the subject. This subject for today is, in case you haven't read the title, Persona 4 Arena. Now, why am I discussing Persona 4 Arena? Well, because it's more of a sequel to Persona 4, obviously, and it takes place after. But the reason why I'm discussing it is that it's on sale right now at any GameStop. So if you have to go there physically, you can't get it online. So, online shoppers, sorry, but go make the trip. Trust me, it's worth it. It's supposed to be $60, but it's on sale for $20. I think I think a few Best Buys. I heard some people say that some Best Buys have it on sale for $30, but you know, GameStop obviously has the better deal. But if you can't get to a GameStop and you find it at a Best Buy or something that's like a cheaper deal, then I guess settle for that. But there's a good amount of GameStops everywhere, so I don't think you need to worry about getting lost finding one. And I mean, if you're on the internet, you could go to the fucking website and find search for a store. So I think you're gonna be fine in terms of getting to a GameStop. You should be. So it's on sale right now. It's $20. You're saving $40. Okay, $40 worth of gas saved right there. Like the $40 you could use for gas or something. So. And they're new. They're not used. New. I think I already said that anyway, but they're new. New copies for $20. Get on that. If you like Persona 4 and you can't play the game, you know what? That's alright. Arena will fill you in on what happened. And they don't spoil anything. Don't worry. They don't spoil who the killer is and all that. I mean, obviously, if you're watching my Let's Play, we're past the point where I've caught the killer. So, for the most part, I'm fine. But for those that haven't played the game, don't worry, it doesn't spoil anything. It will vaguely reference them, but it won't say who's actually the killer. I mean, it's like, yeah, they caught the killer. Okay, so this is assuming if you got the good ending in Persona 4, so you caught the killer and everything. And of course, the protagonist needs to have a name, so he doesn't have Soji Zeta, that's his manga name, and he's gonna have the anime name, Yuna Arakami. So don't worry, he's gonna have something at least, so they at least have a name to call him by. But the game is going to take place during Golden Week, 2 months after Narukami leaves Inaba. He comes back to visit for Golden Week, only to find out the Midnight Channel has returned, and his only friends that are around are Chie, Waifu, aka Yukiko, and Yosuke, or Brosuke. So it's just the original 4, and Teddy's gone missing, Risei's gone missing, Kanji's gone missing, and Naoto, she's off on working on a case. Now I'm going through this from the main 4's point of view, so the rest of their stories you unlock. But I mean, of course, we all know the investigation team's on there. And I'm just talking about story right here. And so then they go inside the TV, and yeah, you'll figure out the rest when you get in there. And then, like I said, the other new characters that they have are a few Persona 3 characters: Aigis, Mitsuru, Akihiko, and Elizabeth, and of course, one new character entirely, Labris. Now, Labris has her own story as well, and let me tell you, it will hit you in the feels very hard. The game, now, you might call me biased for saying this, but out of all the fighters, best story hands down. Now, I'm not the only one saying this. Countless people who reviewed the game say this has a great story. I mean, to be fair, fighters aren't usually meant to focus on it, but in this case, this is plot-oriented, and this is going to foreshadow, I don't know, Persona 5 or something, or just some future events that'll lead to the future Persona games. I mean, I do have a... oh, wait, no, I'm not going to say that. That's another video. That's my Persona 5 theory video, which... that will have spoilers mentioned, and yeah, I don't want to say. Oh, I stopped myself. Oops, I said too much. I need to clam up. Anyway, so, I mean, if you want to get straight into the fighting, you know how we have people who like, I don't want to go play single player, I want to go straight into online. Don't, for one, personally, this is a game you don't want to exactly go online in, because you will get your ass handed to you. But if you want to go for it, by all means, I'm not stopping you, just suggesting that you shouldn't. Because you might run into some pretty good fighters. All of the characters are already unlocked. You don't need to worry about unlocking them like how you do in like Smash Brothers or something. But And yes, it can be a complicated game, but that's why they have auto combos. This kind of matched the theory I had in the past, because since it's like, how are they going to appeal to people? I mean, you're trying to appeal to a RPG fan base. How are you, especially if not a lot of RPG players are into action games, like maybe shooters, or well, maybe not just shooters. I'm talking about fighting games. But maybe they're not into fighting games, which I'm not. I can tell you right now, I'm an RPG fan, and yet I'm not exactly into fighters. The only one I've really played a lot is Smash Brothers, but that's about it. But then again, Smash Brothers is a game that can teach you. In fact, you could teach yourself with that. You're practically self-taught. I mean, yeah, they do have how to play videos, but that's just basic controls. You kind of come up with your own strategies on your own and on the spot. Now, sometimes that can be said with this game. However, you have auto combos, so you can do it. But if you want to actually, like the auto combos, and then if you actually try to do the combos manually, if you do them manually, you'll do more damage. Which this will match the theory I was talking about, that to appeal to gamers, they say the RPG gamers, or those that aren't into fighters or haven't played them at all or that often, you have auto combos so they can start doing the really good stuff right away. But the difference will be until they get used to actually doing them manually, they won't be able to do as much damage as the combo can do. Which that's pretty good to get to those people who are getting into it, and then eventually, you know, they'll go play on their own or practice on their own getting combos in. And to practice on your own, that's why they have challenge mode, I believe that's what it's called. There's a mode in the game where you can practice combos, so it practically teaches you strategies, but you come up with the rest on your own. I mean, and of course, all the characters are completely different. Like, they're just completely unique. Like, okay, Narukami is like Mario. Like, okay, I'm going to be comparing some characters to Smash Brothers since practically the Let's Play fan base is virtually all Nintendo crap. Well, crap is a bad word to use because I'm one of them technically, but I'm more straying off from Nintendo, which honestly is not all that big of a deal. It's not that bad. But anyway, I'm just going to compare it to a Smash Brothers character, which is disrespectful, but go along with it. Okay, Narukami is like Mario, balanced. He's got a mixture of both. A couple of special distant attacks and some physical, though Narukami to me leans towards more the physical side. Okay, now we can go to let's go to like let's go look at Yosuke. Let's compare Yosuke to Pikachu. Pikachu and Yosuke are fast, and they like to have some, how do I put it? They're really fast characters, but unlike Pikachu, Yosuke can inflict some status ailment, like he has Tentarafu, which that can screw around with the controls a lot, and that's no good. It's pretty bad, but... And then, okay, next up we have Akihiko. Now, I can't find an exact character I can compare this to. I mean, you could say like Captain Falcon, because they're both pretty fast, and they, like, obviously not just like to punch, but, you know, they're really physical attackers, and this could screw over somebody who's a special attacker or more distant and ranged attacker like Aegis. Though Aegis has a bit of physical attacks, they're pretty good physical attacks to work with it. While, compared to Yukiko. Yukiko, I have yet to see the day where a Yukiko fighter or user can beat an Akihiko user, because Akihiko is the bane of Yukiko's existence. It's... Honestly, I would be tempted to be a Yukiko fighter or user just to beat an Akihiko once. I'm talking about not like you're like a newbie. I'm talking about one that's like well experienced. That would be the day. I have yet to see it because it's really tough for like Yukiko to attack physical attackers. And then you got like here's another one like Kanji. Kanji, he's obviously a physical attacker. He has somewhat of a ranged attack base, but they're kind of limited. But he's a really slow user, so you can say like he's somebody like Ganondorf or Bowser. He's those heavy hitters. But he's also a grappler. He's the one that gets up close and personal. I quote from Golden. But yeah, he's pretty brutal. Teddy's an interesting one. Teddy's kind of the luck-based. You make your strategies, but sometimes you get good ones or good things that happen, and sometimes bad things. But he is indeed, in my opinion, a cheap character. I honestly thought Akihiko was going to be the Meta Knight of the game, where he's broken. But no, apparently that award goes to Mitsuru. Mitsuru uses a lot of ice spells, and her physical spells are really bad and hard to get around sometimes. And she has an average speed. Chie, oh my god. Chie is probably the most in my opinion, the most overused, and she was the most broken character back when Persona 4 Arena was just an arcade game only. You could stack Tarkajas, and now I'm going very technical here, but she did like, I don't know, over 8,000 points of damage with one regular hit. And that's kind of unfair. So to be fair, you can only stack Tarkaja once. Which, thank God, I mean, one's enough already. But she's obviously a kicker. She does have some distance with like Aginastra, which that's pretty bad, and God's Hand, oh my god, but I do not like Chie. not against the... I'm talking about like voicing. The voice actors, by the way, for Teddy and Chie have changed. Teddy is Sam Riegel, I believe. I'm still sticking with that because nobody's corrected me. They would have corrected me by this point, but I'm pretty sure it's Sam Riegel now. And as for Chie, she's now voiced by Erin Fitzgerald, which honestly, I don't see why people are complaining. It's a whole new interpretation of Chie. Just fucking suck it up. It's not that bad. Honestly, I like it. Now, I like both voice actors. I'm just gonna clarify this. I probably will discuss this in my character analysis of Chie, but Chie's new voice actor is not that bad. Honestly, guys, stop being so biased towards the freaking other English one. She's great too. Both have their... I'm saying not both are perfect. Both have their flaws. But then if you're going to say, oh, you're comparing it to the Japanese, that's kind of unfair. And that's just proving you're a fucking weeaboo. So, get over yourself and just accept it. Stop denying it and stop talking shit about the voice actors. That's their own choice of interpretation of their characters, and just get over it. I mean, Sam Riegel is basically a deeper voice Teddy to me. Personally, I do like Dave Wittenberg's voice interpretation more. I just like the higher pitchness, I guess. And I liked it when he got the drunk Teddy. I think he got it perfect. But Sam Riegel is a worthy replacement of Teddy, and I think he's a really good one too. He captures the atmosphere of Teddy spot on, just as much as Dave Wittenberg. Yeah, we're not talking about voice actors, we're talking about the game here. Now, Elizabeth, she can be cheap. She's got a very versatile amount of attacks, but it's really hard to use them. But she gains SP on her own. She has Invigorate, which kind of sucks. So you can just sit there and like dodge attacks or move out of the way or move back, and just let your SP go back up before you just start spamming Maziodyne. It's pretty bad. She's got Thanatos, by the way. Yeah, you know whose persona that is. But she's kind of like, to me, I see her more as a trap one, especially because her instant kill is trap oriented. They have to try to hit it, like hit the circle or hit her area a couple of times in order for the trap to activate, and once it activates, you're fucked. So it's good for when somebody's doing an attack they can't really stop. Like once it starts, it has to go all the way through. So that is pretty good to know. I guess she relies on her guns and her weapons, but she can also, her persona can do a lot more physical attacks, and also like make up for the physical attacks that she needs to do. But she does have a couple of physical attacks on her own. So she's kind of balanced, but she does lean towards more ranged attacker. I say special attacks, but I should be saying ranged attacks. So when I say special attacks, forgive me, force of habit. Anyway, that leaves... Like I already said, Yukiko's a ranged attacker with Konohana Sakuya. Her persona can do some physical attacks like Agidyne, where it can get close to somebody and then it's pretty bad from there. But she's mostly a ranged attacker, so she's kind of complicated. Actually, Yukiko is one of the more complicated characters, but if you can get her down, she can be pretty good. She can be deadly, as if she wasn't deadly already. Yukiko is the Persona 4 version of Mitsuru. You got Ice Execution, then you got Fire. Which one do you want? I'd honestly rather freeze to death than burn, but I wouldn't want to piss off either of them. Anyway, that leaves Labris. Labris, there's two versions of her. Shadow Labris and regular Labris. I'll go over Labris first. Her persona is much more special attack or range attack oriented. It can do like some spells that can attack people who are trying to get some distance away, so you can get them in a corner. They can't dodge anything. Labris herself, I mean, she's got a giant axe, so I think you can figure it out. Labris herself is up close and personal, while her persona is more distant. It can do a couple. I don't think it can really do much physical attacks. So leave Labras when they get up close and personal. When they get away, just stick to others. I mean, mind you, I'm basing my own experience after witnessing some fights, so I might not know all the strategies. So if I don't have all the strategies, forgive me. I have yet to play the game. When I get my own PS3, I'm gonna get it. That's the first game I'm probably gonna get. Anyway, Shadow Labras being the last one. Shadow Labras is, simply put, all physical. Labras hasn't changed herself. The character itself hasn't changed, but the persona is different. Asterius, I think he's called, the Raging Bull of Destruction. That thing, it likes to hang around a lot. And if you do it right, you can make it block against attacks, and I think it's harder to destroy than others because it's meant to hang around with Labras. It's basically, you're literally controlling both of them at once for the most part. But if you lose Asterius, you're kind of screwed. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you lose your persona for pretty much anybody, you're screwed for a while. Especially if you're Yukiko, because then Yukiko can't do much at all. That's why for her, like characters like her and Aigis, you do best to take care of your personas. I mean, if you got somebody like Kanji or Akihiko, you're fine. It doesn't matter if you lose them, because most of your strategies are going to come from them. I forgot Naoto, by the way. Naoto is a more complicated one, too. I'll get to her after I get with Shadow Labras, but basically, Shadow Labras is all physical. And her insta-kill is kind of unique. You activate it, and then you got a time limit. You gotta grapple them or something like that. You just gotta get close to them and get them, grab them, and then you win. So, if you're somebody like Akihiko, you could just run away. But if you're like Kanji, I worry for you. Anyway, that leaves Naoto. She's the only one that's left. I can't believe I forgot her. But Naoto's one of the more complicated ones. Of course, she's uses a gun in battle. But if you can use this gun to either shoot straight ahead, shoot upward, or you can shoot towards the ground, where then it just ricochets off. Which it's kind of unique. That's pretty good. I think it can basically get people who guard normally, like regular. I think they'd have to guard while crouching in order to dodge something like that, or not get hit by it. So it's a pretty nice off-guard trick. Naoto is more distant, so she can do a couple of physical attacks on her own. In fact, one of her combos based off of her crit, where she fires a couple of shots and then does a kick. Her persona, she's the trap user. She lays traps, she'll lay little Megidos around. They're kind of they're just basically crosshairs on the directly on the floor or in the air. That's what her persona Sukuna Hikuna can do. And on top of that, she's also got Hamon and Mudon. Now, in order for these to work, whenever you fight as Naoto, your opponent will have a counter under them. With like a skull there. You gotta make the counter drop to 0. If you make it drop to 0 and you use Hamon, should they get caught, Hamon or Mudon, should they get caught in its range, they will die from it no matter what. But if they have even like a 1, I don't think they can get killed. Elizabeth has something similar, which I'll note here. Elizabeth takes some time to activate. I think there's a way you can make it activate automatically, after a couple of seconds, but it takes 10 seconds to activate. So what you could do with Elizabeth is if you put Hamon near the edge, you could try to get somebody to stay on that side long enough for Hamon to kill them. I'm going with Hamon as an example here. So, no matter what, but however, when Elizabeth's Hamon, when it activates, it will kill no matter what. It doesn't need a counter, because it's my Hamon apparently, but it takes time to activate it, so that's why. The time makes up for it. But as for Naoto, to me, she can be really complicated. Once you get the hang of her, you should be good to go. Same can be said with any fighter. They might feel complicated, but you'll be good. Personally, I think I'm going to main Yu Narukami. I'm likely going to main Narukami, Yosuke, and possibly Yukiko, because I'm that biased. But anyway, that's just a little somewhat detailed version of all the fighters. You can look up some videos where they have some combos and montages and whatnot. But if you're new to the fighting genre, this game is perfect for you. And if you want to get straight into fighting, of course, there's online, versus, and of course, there's also arcade mode. Score attack mode is basically you're fighting all the characters in their beta stages, or when they're more powerful, when they're even or more powerful versions, especially Elizabeth. Oh my god, that score attack will kick your ass. Even the best players can have trouble with them. it's pretty bad, but just get really good at the game. I'm not joking. Get really good at the game before you consider Score Attack. But like I said, this arcade mode for like a summarized story version, somewhat. But I think you should enjoy it. The game is really good. But yeah, that's practically all I want to say. So give the game a whirl. It's only $20 if you're going to a GameStop and you need a new game. If you got an Xbox 360 or a PS3, by all means, go for it. This game might keep you hooked for a while. The story is about, if you do every character's story, it's about 30 hours long. But come on, if you've played Persona 4 or 3, you should be fine. I mean, if you've only played Persona 3, it's alright. You will have Persona 3 characters, and it continues off of their stories, but you have to unlock them first, and you just gotta, well, yeah, you'll understand as you play the game yourself. Because when you play through story, you're only gonna have the main 4. Narukami, Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko. And from there, you're gonna unlock the rest. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. So, if you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of Persona 4 Arena if you actually already have it. Obviously, I'm not going to review it because I'm in no place to, because I never even touched the damn game as much as I want to play it. So, feel free to tell me what you think of Persona 4 Arena or what I've been saying. But, anyway, yeah, I think that's really all I got to say. So, till next video, stay gold.